Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we are tackling something that is very likely, quietly running your life right now. I'm talking about an invisible emotional energy leak. It's this hidden drain on your focus, your mood, your time, and it all stems from exactly how we connect with the people around us. Our source material today breaks down a really fascinating concept called healthy detachment. Now, if that phrase sounds kind of cold or distant to you at first, just stick with me here because we are going to completely redefine what that actually means. This is really about keeping your relationship strong while finally reclaiming your own peace of mind. Okay, let's just get real for a second and jump right into this. You know that exact feeling when someone doesn't text back and your entire day just gets hijacked? Or maybe a friend cancels plans last minute and suddenly you're just spiraling. You catch yourself literally replaying every single conversation in your head, wondering what you did wrong, or you're just obsessively checking your phone. It completely takes you out of whatever you were actually trying to accomplish that day. We have absolutely all been there, and let's be honest, it is an incredibly frustrating loop to be stuck in, right? So you probably tell yourself, oh, well, I'm just a really sensitive person, or I just care a whole lot about my friends. But are you really caring too much, or are you actually lacking boundaries? Our source material challenges this assumption directly. It argues that this isn't sensitivity. It is definitely not just caring too much. What you are actually experiencing is attachment without boundaries. And that lack of boundaries is exactly the thing that allows other people's actions, or even their inactions, to just quietly dictate your entire emotional state. Now, because we are laser focused on actionable learning in this explainer, I am not just going to sit here and give you the theory. By the end of our time together, you are going to have a highly practical 7-day actionable roadmap to actually build the skill of healthy detachment. It's a literal step-by-step guide designed to stop that spiral in its tracks. And I'm going to tease this right now. You need to pay really close attention when we get to day 4. It is this uncomfortable, awkward step that nobody really talks about, but I promise you it is the one that changes absolutely everything. First off, let's smash a huge myth right here. Detachment is not the opposite of caring. Detachment is actually the opposite of control. Think about it. Unhealthy attachment sounds like a desperate need for control, right? Like, I need them to respond to me right now so I can focus on my work, or I have to fix how they feel. Healthy detachment, on the flip side, is purely about care. It's saying, I care about this person, and I don't need to micromanage their every emotion. You start to recognize that their mood is just information. It is not your responsibility. You can love someone deeply and still, return to your own life. So, the formal psychological term for this whole concept is differentiation. It comes straight out of family systems therapy, and differentiation is officially defined as the ability to stay emotionally connected to someone while still maintaining your very own sense of self. And get this, according to psychologists, this is actually one of the strongest predictors of emotional stability in literally any relationship. It's that perfect sweet spot between being totally enmeshed with someone and completely cutting them off. I really want you to let this reframe sink in for a minute. Detachment isn't walking away from people. It's stopping the leak of your energy into things you can't control. That metaphor right there, the energy leak, is just so profound. Because that leak is exactly why you feel so tired all the time. It's why you can't focus at your job, and why your personal goals just keep stalling out. Your mental bandwidth is quite literally being spent decoding a vague text message instead of, actually building your life. Okay, before we get into the actual roadmap, let's do a really quick gut check. I want you to see if any of these 3 signs hit close to home. Number 1, do you rehearse conversations that already happened or ones that haven't even happened yet? Number 2, you outsource your emotional weather. Like if they are distant, you're anxious. If they're warm, you're totally fine. And number 3, you overgive just to avoid a feeling. You say yes or you overexplain just because the alternative, like them being upset or silent, feels completely unbearable to you. Listen, if even one of these hit home, you are exactly in the right place. So, awareness is basically step 0. But now it's actually time to build the skill. We are shifting gears into the 7-day roadmap action plan. And I want to be super clear about this. This isn't about becoming suddenly distant or unbothered. You do not just flip a magic switch to stop caring. This is all about doing very small, specific daily reps. Just like building a muscle at the gym, we are going to build your differentiation muscle over the next 7 days. Okay, let's break this down day 1. Day 1 is incredibly simple, but man, is it powerful. Name the leak. The instruction here is that every single time you catch yourself anxiously predicting someone's reaction, or replaying a conversation, or compulsively checking your phone screen, you just internally say to yourself, that's a leak. That is literally it. No trying to fix it yet. You don't even need to stop the behavior on day one. Just name it. Because as the source points out, you absolutely cannot redirect energy that you haven't even noticed is leaving your body. Once you're actually aware of those leaks, we step right into day two. Day two introduces a really powerful buffer, the 24-hour rule. The goal here is that before you respond to an emotional trigger, whether that's some passive-aggressive text, a weird offhand comment, or even just someone's prolonged silence, you wait 24 hours if you possibly can. Now, hear me out. This isn't about being petty. You aren't giving them the silent treatment. It is entirely about giving your own nervous system the time it needs to settle down. You want to make absolutely sure that you are the one responding and not just your anxiety. Moving on to day three. Day three is all about separating the person from the behavior. This is truly the absolute emotional core of healthy detachment. You're going to practice this one specific sentence. I can care about them and still not agree with, chase, or fix this. Seriously, think about that. It allows you to maintain your love and your care for the person while completely dropping the heavy responsibility to manage their current behavior. It is connection without the merging. And here we are, day four, the uncomfortable turning point I promised you earlier. Day four is the silent day. The author rightly points out that this is the day nobody wants to talk about. Your task is simply this. For one full 24-hour period, do not initiate a single check-in text. No, hey, are we good? Messages, no over-explaining your actions from yesterday. Just let your relationships exist for one single day without your constant anxious maintenance. And I'm going to warn you right now, this day will feel deeply, deeply uncomfortable. But that discomfort, that is the exact feeling of your detachment muscle finally growing stronger. After you make it through the mud of that discomfort, you are ready for day five. Day five is when you actively redirect the energy. Remember all those leaks you started naming back on day one? Well, now, every time you notice a leak happening, you are going to immediately take that lost energy and put it right back into your own life. Go for a brisk walk, dive into a work project, or go do a rep at the gym. Healthy detachment isn't just about creating empty space. It is actively taking your precious energy and bringing it back home to you. All right, day six. Day six requires you to set one real boundary. You just need to say one honest, non-aggressive truth that you have been avoiding. Something as simple as, hey, I can't talk right now, I'll call you tonight. Or, I need to think about that before I answer. Setting a boundary is what detachment looks like in actual practice. It is the practical tool you use to stop merging with other people's sense of urgency, which finally allows you to operate on your own timeline. Finally, the culmination of all your daily reps. Day seven. Day seven is your time to reflect and reset. You are going to sit down and ask yourself some really critical questions. Look back over the whole week and ask, where did I actually feel lighter? Which of my relationships genuinely felt more respectful, not less, when I gave them way less anxious energy? By evaluating what actually worked, you can decide exactly which of these new habits you are going to carry forward into your next week. And that brings us to the ultimate payoff here. Detachment isn't giving up on people, it's coming back to yourself. When you detach in a healthy way, you really don't lose people. You actually usually gain much better, healthier relationships because you are finally showing up as a whole person, rather than just an anxious extension of someone else's approval. All of that mental bandwidth is finally returned to your own growth and your own goals. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a direct challenge. Which day of the roadmap are you starting today? Please don't wait for the perfect moment or for your anxiety to just magically disappear on its own. You have the step-by-step actionable plan right now. Take immediate action on day one. Start noticing those energy leaks and take the very first step toward reclaiming your focus and your life.